Hello, bonjour, Agathe Mathieu here. So happy to be with you today. Let me just see, just so I'm going to pull up my notes. I don't miss anything here. There we go. I am a living cuisine chef. And, you know, it's known as raw food. You probably have heard of raw food. I like to use living cuisine. Sounds more delicious, doesn't it? I've been eating this way since 2003. So it's 19 years now. 19 years of energy, of, healthier than ever. I feel better now in my 60s and in my 40s. I just turned 64 years old yesterday. And, I forgot it was my birthday. Usually birthday people go like, oh, I'm getting, 1 year older. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be 40. I'm going to be 50. I'm going to be 60. I forgot about it. That's how unimportant it is. So I'm getting older and healthy and healthy. So, there you go. Growing old is a wonderful thing for me. I've got all that wisdom on top of things. So I'm really happy with all that, which you only get with age, like they say, in order to make good decision, you have to take a decision that might be a bad decision that leads to experience, and that experience helps you to make good decisions. So, you've done enough of those in your life that you get the wisdom then. I mean, eventually it sets in, right? So there you go. I'm really enjoying getting old. So back then, like 19 years ago, I had arthritis so bad. You can see my hands, right? It's an obvious. I had arthritis so bad. I couldn't lift and grab and hold anything or everything. As you know, when I had a hard time to use my hands. And within a week of eating living cuisine, the swollen on my hands receded. It just blew me away. 1 week, just 1 week of eating this way. And so, as you know, it might be for yourself, or you might have seen people when they have swelling of the joints because of inflammation. And you see their hands, right? And you know that you cannot bend because it's swollen. That's basically what it is. In order for my finger to bend, it's got to be free to bend. But when it's swollen, it isn't. So within a week, that was gone. I was just blown away. I could use my hands again. It's just exciting, isn't it? And I was 45 years old then. So imagine that. Only at 45, if it would have continued, what I would have been today. So it stopped right there, and it stopped. And you see my hands today, like I said, but there is no pain. There is no incapacity. I can close my hands. I can grab things. I can do whatever I want with them. And at the same time too, I lost the excess weight, floaters in my vision. It all got resolved and it never came back. And with all those positive and healthy and outstanding results, of course, living cuisine became my way of life. And when enjoyment sets in like that in your life, when every day when you wake up, you're not in ache and pain, like, oh my gosh, I'm getting old and I'm kind of rusted. And again, inflammation and arthritis does that, but inflammation does that as well. Or brain fog, or tired, or, lacking the joy of life. So when you find that in simply by the fuel that you take, which is your food, well, you stay that way. I mean, who wouldn't? Once you found it, who wouldn't? And to some people, they even said, you found the fountain of youth. I certainly found the fountain of health. I have friends, they haven't seen me for, however long. And they look at me and they go, my gosh, look at me. I've got wrinkles on my forehead and you don't. That's not fair. And I always say, look, it's not too late to start. You can stop the wrinkling by eating this way. It's never too late to start. It's never too late to feel better. It's never too late to take on good habits. It's never too late to be healthier and healthier. Actually, they're doing like experimental testing on people who are like in their 70s. And they are doing trainings that it would be with like what usually younger people would do to increase their muscular mass. And they can, because what was said to us so far is, well, as you get older, you lose muscle mass. No, no, it's never too late to start an exercise plan that will give you the muscle mass. So there you are. And to continue on what I'm doing here, I'm going to talk to you today. I'm so excited about that. So I'm creating, as you know, I've got a website, I've got a Facebook, a private Facebook group, and in there, I'm going to offer a building energy 5-day challenge. The neat thing about that is it will give you the experience of what it is to eat this way. Of course, I will give you simple recipes. I will give you all the tips and the tricks, and so that it's not complex, because I understand too many. Well, first of all, it's like, how do I eat this? I mean, do I eat carrots all week? No, you don't. There are delicious food that are easy to make and quick to make. So I will teach you that. And in being in this challenge, what does it do? The challenge is going to be that I'm going to give you breakfast and I'm going to give you dinner. Why? Because breakfast, you start your day with the fuel that will really wake you up, feed your body, keep you alive and energized. And then why dinner? Because you end your day with food that it will, again, help with digestion, because that's what happened. Right now we're looking at the end of the day, and we will be, when we sleep during the night, that's when we rest and we repair. That's when our body is in action to do what it needs to repair cells and whatnot. And so if it has the nutrients to do it, of course, it's going to perform way better, and you will sleep better. You will have a deeper sleep. You will have a restorative sleep. So that's why I'm doing breakfast to start the day, to really have a nutritious start of the day, so your body is fueled with the energy that is needed, the clarity of mind. You'll see, you'll be blown away how it does. It clears, I mean, your mind is so clear, you're so quick, because it has the fuel that it needs. And then we end the day with food that will support you. Your digestion will be easy. You'll wake up in the morning, you'll feel good. And also what's going to happen, first thing in the morning, when you eat this way, literally first thing in the morning, I mean, we'll all, use the washroom, but you will eliminate. You will have a bowel movement first thing in the morning. And what does that do? Think of it for a second. If you don't eliminate, it starts to, putrefy, it starts to rot in you. So that makes you feel uncomfortable, of course. And really, we should, if we're not you going or using the washroom after meals, like each meal, like 3 times a day, at least 2, oh, at the very minimum 1. If you're not doing that, you're carrying you ate the day before to the next day. Well, think of it for a second, what kind of condition that might be in your body, right? So it's really not healthy. And so that's why the last meal of the day, then that will really set your body up to eliminate in the morning. You'll have fiber. Well, yeah, there we go. I mean, Living Cuisine is fiber. And fiber, as you will learn, I mean, I will also, I'm saying various things at the same time here, but during those 5 days of the challenge, I'll be there every single morning in my our Facebook group, our private Facebook group, and I will educate you. I will share with you information. You will learn basic things that then supports your decision to keep eating well. Because sometimes you go, well, that's a nice idea. I like the idea. But if there isn't an understanding of what this way of life will do for you, it's like an idea. Of course, of course, I know, I've heard it. It's good to eat vegetables. It's good to eat fruits. I've heard it. But then if you know it's more than good, if you know it's the food for life, like that will give you a life to look forward to. Like I'm saying, I'm 64, full of energy, no aches, no pain. So that gives you a life to live for. You know, when you think of your retirement, when you think of you will have the time because now your children are grown up, if you have any, or you know you're retired, so you're not so busy with your work. You might take on something that is a passion of yours and you invest time in that, but you will have the energy to take on whatever it is that you're taking on as you get older. And also what there is to think is, you know, you look at your condition right now and you say, it's been years that I've been saying, I should. And like sometimes we do that. We should all over ourselves, but we're not making any progress. So it's been years that you might say, I should. And if you look at, haven't taken any step towards your dream, towards what you want to accomplish, towards, you know, reducing your waist size, towards, if you haven't taken any steps and you've been thinking of this for the last 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, where are you at now? Right? So, again, it's always time to start. So the best thing to do is not to say, oh, I'm so bad and I'm not good. Don't depress yourself, but just be honest with yourself. So if you haven't done anything yet and it's not getting better, it won't get better later on because it hasn't so far. So why would it change? If you don't change anything, why will it change for you to get better? So in order to be healthier, in order to have, you know, what's required to accomplish your what you'd like to do, activities or passion or whatnot, start now. So that 5 days is just going to be so much fun. So I'll do the live in the Facebook, and I'll answer question as I'm doing the live. I'll see the, you know, the chat going and question coming in. And also because you'll be part of my private Facebook, you can send questions ahead of time. So I'll know what to answer. But also that 5 days prior to me going on every morning and supporting you and bringing information and all that, prior to those 5 days, I will give you a shopping list of what to buy. And I will also give you a list of tools to have. And you probably have those in your kitchen already. But maybe some you don't, but they won't be expensive. I promise you. I'm not, you're not going to break the bank here. But then you'll have what I use every day and what makes it so that I've been eating this way for 19 years without fail. The other thing that it does is, you know, and again, in that 5 days, you will love that part. I'm going to teach you how to switch your craving for unhealthy food to healthy foods. So you're allowed to have cravings. We are allowed to have cravings. I have cravings, but when I reach into my fridge or my cupboard for something to eat, it's healthy. So there's no problem. That's why, I mean, like I said, I've kept that energy. I've kept my health. I've kept my weight, my figure. I kept it all for all those years because, yeah, I mean, I have desserts. I have chips. They're kale chips. I have, you know, things that may be considered fattening. But in my case, the way it's made, it is not fattening. So you will have recipes for that. And actually, you know, at the end, I'm inviting you to, of course, join my Facebook group so you can receive my free ebook. And then you can also receive my ganache cake. So, you know, my ganache cake is a chocolate cake. It's only chocolate. I ate that when I started to eat the Living Diet. I made it shortly after. It was slightly different recipe. I improved it since then. I can't, it's 19 years, and I had a cafe for 8 years. So of course the recipe got improved, and it's delicious. It's to live for. It's so delicious, so delicious. So you will have that recipe. So not to worry when you go, well, we know my craving for my orgy or my Bavarian cream pastry, or you won't have to. That cake will replace it. It's so delicious, so delicious. So I will give you all those recipes. So there you go. So before you start the challenge, you'll have that list of shopping, and I will also teach you how for 19 years I haven't fell off the wagon. It's just organization, preparation, planification. Does it take forever? No. You know what? When you go in the grocery, usually you go to do your grocery shopping. What do? You start, whichever side of the store you start, and you do all the aisles. And now they're getting bigger and bigger, those groceries. Oh my gosh, they're so big. What do I do when I go to the grocery? I go to the produce aisle, seasoning, and bulk for legumes like chickpeas and quinoa, and that's what I do. So I go there, I'm out. So you'll really gain time that way. And then imagine in your home, if in your cupboard you don't have gazillion boxes of this and gazillion cans of that, and there you go. You just clean your cupboards. It's so simple. Now you might say, gee, Agatha, it must be boring. We always eat the same thing. I'm inviting you to look at your home and look at your recipe book, or look at what you do during a week with your family, what you serve to your family. And there is a study that has been done. If you have 20 different recipes that you actually make within a week, that would be, you'd be outside the norm, because usually it's like 10. And 10 different food as well. You grab that same box of cereal in the morning, you grab that, whatever. So you do the same thing. So what I'm doing with Living Cuisine is a carrot, for example, when it's shredded, when it's diced, when it's sliced, when it's julienne, doesn't taste the same. When you eat it, it hits your taste buds differently. So it doesn't taste the same. So now you've got a selection of vegetables, a selection of fruits, a selection of legumes and seasoning, and you work with that. And there are endless possibilities how to combine it all together. The other thing too that I'll invite you to think for a second is, don't you eat the same thing, right? My children, when I started with the raw food, what you see behind me is a burger, is a Gaia, we called it a Gaia burger. So it's a pate that is made with walnuts and almonds and sunflower seeds. And so, and then there is a chili. Of course, it's all raw, so it's all things that I make. And then there is a spread that is made with almonds and macadamia nuts and seasoning. They ate that like maybe 5 times a week. Why? They loved it. And why? Because they could just go in the fridge, grab pieces of lettuce that were pre-washed and ready to take. They grab the containers of the chili, of the cheese, of the alfalfa. They grab cucumber and tomatoes and a burger pate. 3 minutes, literally. I mean, if 3 minutes. And then there is like next to no dishes to wash, because my children were like, when we were eating cooked. When you have to scrub pans that you did something that you roasted in the oven. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to clean. Raw food, you just take your plate, you run it on the water, and if there was a little bit of dressing maybe, or you wash it off a bit with some soap, but that's about it. And actually, we stopped using the dishwasher, because you just rinse your plate, rinse it well with some warm water, put it to dry. There you go, we were set. And the other beautiful thing is, when you make the food, imagine that. We use blenders. which I'm sure you have at home. So the blender, to wash it, you rinse it, you know, pour water, rinse it. Then you put a drop of soap and then water, and then give it a spin. And then it washes it. Rinse it upside down on your drying rack. Done. Done. As easy as that. There is no blood coming from animal product. There is no blood on your cutting board. There is no fat coming also from animal product on your cutting board, which then you have to scrub. You know, you have to make sure, because it can really, it can make you sick. And you know, look, they came up with those things out there that you buy a red and a yellow and an orange, and they have all sorts of different color cutting boards so that you don't cut your onion, or well, onion, yeah, you should be on a different board, but you don't cut your apple on a board that you cut salmon, right? So you just have one board, two boards, one for the onion. Or you know what I do? I should say that. Actually, I don't have two boards. I flip it. One side is for onion and garlic, or things that would leave a flavor on my board, or stain maybe like the beet. And the other side is for the other things. Life become beyond simple. And you have energy beyond belief. And it's delicious. So there is no more to want to have. You've got it all. I mean, it's like, yeah, when I discovered that, oh my gosh. First of all, my children were super easy, right? What happens when you make a meal and you have a partner, children, it's ready. And then they show up 10 minutes later. And then it's sat in the oven for too long. Now it's not as good. Or it's sat on the stove in that frying pan and it's starting to stick, or it's cold. So you don't have that. You don't have that. It's just fabulous. Of course, I'll talk some more into that live Facebook to tell you more about it. So I was saying that I'll be there every morning, that you'll learn about how the food affect you and your microbiome. Of course, microbiome, that's what keeps you healthy. That's your internal pharmacy. Switch your cravings, as I was saying. You'll food that store unwanted fat, so you'll know which one not to have. That's why I do my dressings with seeds and nuts. I don't use oil. I'll explain to you why. Tip and tricks so that you plan your meal and it's not a chore. And I answer a question, as I was saying. And then you will have a fabulous time. I'm going to have a fabulous time. I know that. So we'll have a great time together. And then we are within a family. We are within that Facebook group. So you can get in touch with someone else, start to exchange recipe, support one another if need be. It's you know, like-minded. Look, come on. When you find like-minded people, it's night and day. And I invite you to really consider that is during those 5 days, don't hang out with people that don't do what you're doing. Don't hang out with someone who says, you know, let's go to that restaurant. They have a fabulous steak. Don't do that. Don't walk by cafes and restaurants that offer food that you know are not healthy for you. Take the food that are not healthy for you out of your cupboard. Or if you're able to, because in my case, like I did it alone myself and my 3 children, my then husband, they ate. So yes, so their food was there, but my food was on a different location. So I didn't touch that food. I switched completely. So, you know, you can do that as well. I don't know, you can put it somewhere, store it somewhere, or find a way that it's not tempting. Don't put yourself in a situation of being tempted. And don't tell someone, if you're doing it because you were enrolled and excited, but I invite you to not shame someone from not doing it, okay? They're doing what they're doing. They're at the point that they are at. They love eating their meat. So let them do that. The best is do it for yourself, see the results for yourself. Then you're a talking, walking billboard for health. And there you go. Drink water. So that's very important. So as you sign in, I'm just going to remind you of things that are important to do right there, right now. What I'm saying to you today, that's going to be on our private face group. So you can you know, retrieve the document from there. And or send me an email, I'll send it to you. And then ask your why. Why would you do that? So have your why so strong. Like I was saying earlier when I started the presentation, go back to really make a list of what it is that you're doing right now what does it contribute to your life? And when there is pain, detail the pain, detail the pain, and what that pain is stopping you from doing, what that pain is lingering in you and making your day and time difficult, what that pain deprives you of joy otherwise you would have. I don't know, going on a 5-hour hike because now you can't walk that far, or on a hill, on an inclination, or write down what, your face is a mess. You just don't have mirrors in your house because I don't want to see myself. I don't like myself. So write down and detail the pain. And on the other side, write the compelling future, what it will be when you eat healthy and you make that change. And I'm looking at the time. I want to tell you a story as well. Let me just see. So I talk about your environment and breathing. So that's one trick. When things happen and you go, it's so hard, so hard, do the breathing. The box breathing is very efficient and it's very simple. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. You see, do that for 10 breaths. And then whatever is going on that is going like, you're going, you feel that your fuse are frying, do that. That's going to help you for sure. But I just want to tell you a story. I said it already in the past, but I want to tell you, and I'll tell you quick. Oh my gosh, I've got 4 minutes. There we go. So the story is that I'm 12 years old, adopted, overweight 40 pounds. My face is like full of pimples and I'm cross-eyed. So I'm called gazillion names by the kids. It's so painful. Came to a point where June, end of the school year, I decided to fix it. I'm 12 years old. I'm a kid. I'm being called all sorts of names. I don't share with anybody what I'm about to do because they're going to, look at me even weird, in the weirdest way, or tell me even things that are even more hurtful. So we have a garden. I ate vegetables all summer. We did exercise with my eyes as a kid, my left eye, exercise. I put in my mind I can fix it. And what else did I say? So I lost the weight. I did exercise with my eyes. Come September, I lost the 40 pounds, took my glasses off, not being cross-eyed anymore. Oh, and my skin totally cleared up. You see my skin today. That's how cleared up, totally cleared up, and no scars, because you can get an orange type of skin, right? Imagine that. Imagine, and then if I had not done that, where I would be today. It's a different life. If someone walks around with knowing that they're not comfortable with the overweight, they're not comfortable with the way their skin looks, they're not comfortable with, it affects us because people look at us a certain way when we look a certain way. So there you go. So think of that just to inspire you. You can do it. It's just like I'm special and unique. We can all do it. Bring the pain to such a threshold that you go like, I can't take that pain anymore. And then you go for it. Okay, now I will share with you my screen and then I'll show you where, there we go, and share. There we are. So that way you can see, this is my website. This is my website address, healingvegancuisine.com. This is where you leave me a message. You say, hey, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm taking on this challenge. And it's also the place where you can say, I'd love to have your ebook. That's where my ebook is. So it's a book with, information on living cuisine. It's like an introduction. It helps you to understand and see what living cuisine can do for you. And it's also a book where you have recipes as well. And those recipes you'll have, of course, during that week that we'll do the challenge. So I sure hope that I'm going to see you there, that together we can do this. And you're just going to enjoy it. I mean, it's just going to be fabulous. I'm telling you, you will enjoy it. There's such it's just fabulous, simple and fabulous. We'll see you again next week. All my love. Oh, stop. There we go. I'll get to it and stop.